This time I got a Sonic Frontiers vacuum tube amp, 40 watts per channel. Complaint on this one is the right channel bias changes by itself. You set it to 40 milliamps, checks it later, it's 50 or it's 30, but it's always going up and down. So he wants me to check it out and see why it's doing this and stop it. So let's get started. This is a Sonic Frontiers vacuum tube amp. It's an SFS40, so 40 watts per channel. The complaint on this one is that the bias is changing on the right channel. Now he's already swapped tubes around, not the tubes. He says the bias changes. Now normally you set the bias to 40 milliamps. You can control, you got your 4 settings for your tubes. It's got a milliamp meter here. I'll show you the milliamp meter. And we're going to have to let this thing run because as he puts it, he sets it and it'll change. Yeah, I think the problem is probably the switch. Take a look. When I move the switch, I think that's his fault, is the switch is bad. It's not that the bias is changing. It's just that the meter is not reading it correctly because the switch is going bad. So, I have to get this thing apart and get to that switch, see if we can figure out why the switch is acting up like it is. It's a switch problem. I don't think his bias is at fault at all. It's just that he comes back and checks it and finds that the reading is different from what he set it because the switch itself is, well, as you can see. It's either that or there's a connection, but I think the switch is probably where his fault is on this one. Just how do I get to that switch? This is, I mean, the way this thing's built, the switch is going to be tough to get to. It might just need to be cleaned. The switch itself might need to be replaced too, or contacts at least buffed up real good, but this could be fun to get to, just the way it's built. I'm going to remove the knob and see whether, if I remove the knob, whether I can access the switch underneath here to clean. There's the knob out of the way. I think what I'll try to do before ripping this entire unit apart is to get to that switch, I got to pull all the tubes, I got to pull the bottom off it, then I got to pull the board out. And because the control's on the top side of the board, I might be able to reach it through either through here or through one of the tube sockets. We'll see if we can get some cleaner in there and see if we can get that switch to smarten up a bit. It may be cleanable, it may need to be replaced, but before going down that road, I want to see if I can get it clean. I mean, it's not that the milliamps are going to be changing, it's just the meter is going to be reading incorrectly. And that's where the problem, I think, is. We got to get that switch so that it doesn't jump all over the place as soon as you breathe on it. And then we can monitor it and see if it's in fact changing. I doubt that the bias is in fact changing. It's going to be that switch that's reading the milliamps on the meter. That's where the fault is going to be on this one, I think. So first things first, I'm going to try to hit that switch. I can get at it from here. I don't know if I can get how much cleaner I can get into it from here. But I might be able to get some cleaner into there, either from there or down the top. I should be able to get some cleaner in there. So let's just try. Get some light on here so I can see what I'm doing. Guess that doesn't really help me much. I need to shine the light in here. Try some down here at the control itself as well. All right, I've cleaned the switch. My milliamps are 40 milliamps for the 2 left tubes, 40 milliamps for the 2 right tubes, and it's not bouncing around when I wiggle this. I'm going to let this thing run because he says after a few hours it changes. We're going to let this run and see whether that's going to hold. I think it was just a dirty switch is all his problem was. His bias was not changing, but he wasn't getting an accurate read with that, and it was changing because the switch itself was changing. I'm going to let this thing run, and maybe I've saved myself a whole bunch of time taking this apart. That'll not, I mean, obviously won't make much money if I'm only spending a few minutes on it, but that'll make me happy, and it will also make the guy that owns this happy because he won't be spending a small fortune tearing this whole thing down. Now, I'm not saying that the switch doesn't have to be replaced, but at this point it's not, you know, you can see, we saw before when I touched it, it jumped all over the place. Now it's not. I just give it a shot of neutral contact cleaner and everything is looking good. This is what I used. Good old MG Chemicals neutral. Yes, I had the option of using deoxit, and deoxit is very good. It's very good. But this stuff here is readily available locally, and this is the old stuff. This is the good stuff. When cleaners were fantastic. Take a look at what's in this thing. Right? It's got tetrafluorethane is what's in this one. The new stuff is mostly alcohol. I think deoxit's using, it smells like they're using kerosene in theirs. But this one here is good old Freon TF, the best cleaner ever made. This is, we used to call this stuff Switchman in a can. It was developed for the telephone industry. I think it even says so. Some of the old cans used to say that right on there. Maybe this one doesn't. But anyway, this stuff you can't buy. Like, you cannot buy this formulation anymore. You know, the new formulation that they've got now, and this thing's got, I got probably half a can still here. It's lasted me for a while. I had a couple of these cans from way back when I worked in the TV shop, and I grabbed them when I left. It was a departing gift, let's just say. I grabbed a couple cans of Freon TF, which is just pure Freon for cleaning heads as well. I still got a few of those cans around. But yeah, this stuff, it used to say on here that it was developed, made in Canada. This is a Canadian company. It used to say right on the can that it was developed by leading telecom. It might have been Bell probably at the time. It could have been BC Tel as well back in the day. But yeah, they said that stuff was developed for cleaning the crossbar switches and the Strodger switches used in the telephone business. And yeah, it's the best cleaner I've ever used. Right, see, this is rock solid, so it's not moving. So we're looking good. Well, it's been going now for, well, it's now 6:46, so it's been going now for well over an hour. I know that because I've been just watching some stuff on YouTube. I edited my other video and posted it and played it live, and came back here and we're still at 40 milliamps. Switch is not acting up. The other channel, I'm going to let it sit here and run for a little while longer, but I think it's fairly safe to say that that was our problem here, which is good. It saved me tearing this whole thing apart. Well, it's been a little while longer. Now 7:41. Still sitting exactly 40 milliamps. Both those tubes and the other side. So, no problem. Just a dirty control, which is now cleaned. So I'm going to call this one a success.